Welcome to Season 2 of the BACK40 Leadership Podcast, equipping transformational leaders for churches in rural places. I'm Todd Stanley, and if you've listened to the podcast for any length of time, you're familiar with my voice as well as that of Pastor Mel Massengale. But this season, there'll be some great changes that are coming, and one of those that will be introducing a brand new voice to you. So I'd like you to say hello to Mr. Michael Bond.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I am so excited to be with you today, and man, this is just such a great thing. I'm excited to get started with this podcast and finally kick this off. Tell us what we have going on for this season.
You know, there are a lot of great changes that we've got coming for Season 2. One of those is this. We are going to be having content coming at you every single week, and I am super excited about that. So you're used to those kind of long-form conversations between Pastor Mel and a guest, and there will be some of those that will be coming your way. But in addition to that, we're going to be having a brand new kind of panel format where it'll be myself and Michael and Pastor Mel and different guests from time to time, depending on what topic that we're talking about. But there'll be a panel of us who are discussing what's happening in church leadership that week, the unique challenges of rural leadership. In episode 1, for example, we'll be deconstructing the weekend service and talking about, does it really need to look the way that it looks? And if not, what should it look like, or what could it look like? Again, there'll be some of those long-form conversations that you've been used to with some incredible guests. You guys know some of the high caliber of guests that we've had on the podcast in the past, and that's not going to change. And then every episode is going to be available on your favorite podcast platform, as it always has been. But brand new, we're going to be introducing this as video content as well to be available on YouTube so that you can interact with it at a deeper level than maybe you have been before.
Man, that sounds like there's going to be some really great conversations had on this podcast, and I'm super excited to have the guests on and to see what we can dig into. Tell me a little bit about the segment This Week in Church Leadership.
So every week, each of us will bring some content. We'll bring maybe a story that we heard or an article that we read or something that we experienced ourselves as we were endeavoring to be great leaders in the churches where we serve. And so we'll bring that stuff to the table, and we'll just talk about what's going on in church leadership, what people are talking about, what events may have happened, some good, some bad, and maybe some funny stories. I hope, there'll be something that we can all maybe laugh a little bit about.
Man, I can't wait. And Todd, is it right that there's going to be some kind of live component to this podcast?
Yeah, so the way it's going to work, we're going to break it down like this. Every other week, you'll get a pre-recorded podcast similar to what you've been used to. So there'll be either the panel discussion or a long-form conversation with a guest. The things that you've been used to, a pre-recorded kind of every 2 weeks, there'll be a podcast episode that comes out. But in between those, we're going to be doing something that I'm really excited about, where we're going to be doing an LCQ, like a listener comments and questions kind of thing. And we'll be live on YouTube for those. It'll come out a couple of days later on the audio platform. But live on YouTube, you're going to be able to interact, ask questions. We'll be discussing some of the things that maybe we talked about on the previous week's podcast, and then people can ask questions or make comments, things that they're experiencing, and we'll try to create some live community. It's going to be a lot of fun.
This is going to be such a great opportunity to dig deep into relevant topics and topics that are necessary and matter to you right now. And I'm super excited to have the live interaction with the audience and to have them ask questions. It's going to be so good.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. So here's the thing, guys. Mark your calendars because the brand new season comes out in September. We'll be having episode 1 Tuesday, September the 7th, and then our first live will be the following week, Tuesday, September the 14th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I cannot wait for that, so come along for the ride with us. Season 2, it's coming up.